You're tuned into Recovery TV, the voice of hope, with your host, John J. Tassoni Jr. Discussions and information on addiction and mental health issues. Here's your host with today's guest.
Welcome to another edition of Recovery TV, and I'm your host, John Tassoni. Narcan. Please get it. You can get it at CVS, you can get it at Walgreens. Any pharmacy carries Narcan. URI also. Put it in your purse, put it in your car, but please take it out at night because the weather does a little bit of damage to it, but it saves lives. My guest today is Representative Judy Casimiro from North Kingston / Exeter. Does a lot of work at the State House for children's issues, and that's one of the things what we wanted to talk about today is children's issues and how our children are not being protected in all sorts of things in the state of Rhode Island. So, welcome.
We have a lot to talk about.
We do, and we only have a half hour.
I know. I might have to make another appearance.
All right, so let's go. Tell me what you're working on. Tell me what's working. Tell me what's not working.
Okay. So what I'm working on is getting Social Security and VA benefits back to kids in state care, taking it away from DCYF's bottom line, giving it to the kids. General Treasurer's on board. DCYF says they are on board, but yet they didn't put it in their budget. My number one priority this year is to get that money back to the kids because it's being taken from them. It might be done legally, but it's immorally being done.
Yeah. You know, one of the things, too, when I look at the children's issues, as far as, you know, when I was in there in the legislature and then when I got out and now I'm doing town stuff, it's unfortunate. We have so many children now living with their grandparents. The numbers are astronomical because of either incarceration, overdose, or people just leave their kids with their grandparents and take off.
Yep.
There's a lot of things that are wrong with the system. I don't know how to fix the system because it's so badly broken. So give me your 1,000-foot view of the system.
From where I sit in the General Assembly, I think we have a very dysfunctional agency serving children. They're all working in silos. Everyone is trying to protect themselves and their jobs, and they're not necessarily doing the right thing. A few months ago, I was with the secretary of EOHHS, and I had to claw back over $600,000 in misplaced grants. That's not my job. Why are they misplacing grants? Why are they giving to people who don't qualify for it? Why aren't they doing the right thing for kids? And that's my biggest gripe in the General Assembly. We are not doing the right thing for kids. I'm told that the number of kids in state care is actually coming down because they're pulling less kids, but the budget's going up, $405 million. They cannot find $102 million to give back to the kids that rightfully own that money. To me, it's terrible. I think the services for kids with AUD and SUD lacking big time in our state. And it's a shame because kids are never a priority in the state, never. And I don't care if you're in state care or if you're not in state care.
Right. And one of the things that we've been fighting for at Substance Use Mental Health Leadership Council is to get facilities up and running for both male and female. A lot of money is being spent out of state. Oh. Like candy.
The number of kids in out-of-state care has gone up considerably. We're like 81, I believe, the last hearing I was at. I want to say there were 81 kids in out-of-state placement. The goal was to bring that down last March to 55 or so, but the numbers just keep going up. But yet, then the budget keeps going up.
It's going up because the issues of children is expanding. Children are not children anymore.
Right.
Children are being left by the side by families, you know, and the amount of fathers that don't pay child support, amount of mothers that don't take care of their kids, it's a perfect storm right now. And that goes into the schools.
Oh, yes,
into the schools, and then it goes out. I know you've been doing some substitute teaching over the past couple of years. You saw it.
Firsthand.
You see it.
Firsthand.
You see it.
I do want to go back to what you said about kids in state care. I just shut down one of my commissions. I had a commission that was looking at the graduation rates of kids in state care. Nationally, all states are on this upward trajectory. Our kids plummeted 8 percentage points. No one is concerned about that but me. and I'm the one working on it, and I had to actually shut down the commission because the state agencies involved could not get out of their own way. They couldn't cooperate, they couldn't help do the right thing.
Couldn't give you the information.
Couldn't give me the information, didn't want to, just, again, protecting their own jobs and protecting their departments. But now, if you want to shift gears to when I was a substitute teacher, I saw firsthand what goes on with kids with all kinds of issues, whether they're in-state care or not. You saw it every day. And one of the biggest problems was those kids have cell phones in their hands. Those cell phones are causing anxiety, they're causing additional stress. It's an easy access for bullying. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. I did put my bill to be on cell phones in school did pass last year, and school districts have until August of this year to come up with a plan to address cell phones. The way the bill was written, they need to have a plan to restrict use in classrooms. And it falls on the administration. It should not fall on the backs of the teachers. Kids are in the classroom to learn. We want them to stay in the classroom to learn. Teachers want to teach. We want them to stay in the classroom and teach. All of that outside noise that cell phones cause and the problems that they cause, the administration should be working on that. If a child has a phone in the classroom and he's not supposed to have it, the administration should take care of that, not the teacher. The teacher needs to continue teaching and the kids need to continue learning. So I'm anxiously waiting to see how some schools do this. I was with the folks at Mount Hope High School. They have it down. They have it down. And I know Yonder pouches are expensive, but they have the Yonder pouch system where kids put their phone in a pouch when they come in, and at the beginning of the day, at the end of the day, they unlock the pouch. Conduct calls decreased by 81%. 81%. That's amazing. And they got to the point where kids started leaving their phones in their car, or even just stopped bringing them to school in general. Kids were able to go back to the classrooms and learn, and at lunchtime they were doing the social interaction that they would not get if they were scrolling on their phone. So there's a lot going on. Kids, I saw when I was a substitute teacher, how many young ladies were dealing with eating disorders. It was astounding to me, the number of girls who had eating disorders.
Is that from the phone issue?
It's a lot of things. I mean, it could be exacerbated by the phone.
Right.
So, I mean, I know one girl who's having trouble at home, but on her phone all day at school. All day. There's bullying. There's a fear of missing out because somebody's doing something without you. It causes anxiety.
What's the plan?
What's the plan? That's a good question.
What's your plan?
My plan? I plan to fight the state departments until we get change. We have a dysfunctional state government. We really do. And BHDDH, EOHHS, they need to stop doing what's right for kids, and they're not. They're not. All they're looking to do is build their kingdoms and protect their jobs.
You know, you see all over now about departments and holding on to their sand and not playing in the sand and doing the right thing for kids. But I want to talk more about that when we come back because I got to go to break.
Okay.
Y'all watching Recovery TV, and I'm your host, John Tassoni. We'll be right back after these messages.
And now back to Recovery TV with your host, John J. Tassoni Jr. Recovery TV is made possible by our supporting sponsors and our title sponsor, Kodak. Now, here's John and today's guest.
Welcome back to Recovery TV, and I'm your host, John Tassoni. Representative Julie Calzamaro is in the house, and she's from Narragansett and Exeter.
North Kingstown.
Oh, North Kingstown, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Right church, wrong pew.
There you go.
There you go. So, I have a facility down in Exeter called Xenia. There's conversations about putting a girls' unit down there. Are you able to talk about that?
Oh, willingly.
Okay.
Yes, there's a PRTF treatment facility being built in Exeter for girls. It was supposed to be, when the General Assembly allocated money for it, it was supposed to be 32 beds. Because of Medicaid requirements, they can only do 16. Well, the building's almost done. It's built for 16 girls. and it cost us nearly the same amount of money that we allocated for 32 beds. Why isn't anybody asking questions about that? Here, come to Rhode Island, we have $40 million. It was going to be 32 beds, but just give me 16.
Who's going to run it?
I think it's going to be run by Family Service of Rhode Island.
Okay.
But here's the thing, for me, and this isn't a fault of Family Service at all, they're coming in to rescue it. We were supposed to have I was promised at the groundbreaking that we would have a ribbon cutting in March of 2026. Here we are in April 2026. They're saying maybe May or June. So you know what that means. Probably August or September.
Right.
It's, again, a failure on state government that it's taking so long. I know that the provider originally selected to run the facility backed out because of the cost, but they do have somebody to run it. But it's, again, still, it's late and our girls are suffering.
It's not girls. It's kids.
It's kids. It's kids.
Kids. The kids are suffering.
And kids are not young adults.
And kids,
Kids are not adults.
kids, when you ship a child to whether it be Philadelphia, New Jersey, New York, most of the families are not well off to follow those children.
Exactly.
So there's no family intervention when a child has issues with substance use or mental health. Right? So they go there, they do their time, they do their classes, they come back to the same environment. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. We, as the General Assembly, the last year I was there, did a recovery high school. Try to model it after Boston, where Boston has, you go into the school, you live there, you take your classes there, you take your meds there, and if you're a good doobie, you get to go home on the weekend. They didn't want to do that here. So they go, they drop the kids off at 8 o'clock, go to school, 3 o'clock, you take them back home to the same environment. It's a waste of money.
So the girls' treatment facility that is being built at Exeter, that's a residential property.
Right.
And they do have a school there, and that's a wonderful thing. But again, it's only 16 beds. And we have 81 kids out of state. I mean, how many more are out there that we don't know about that need this kind of help? But it's only 16 beds. And by the time we get anything else built, because I know there's a couple of other sites that are being worked on, by the time we get anything else built, the number of kids is going to just keep increasing and increasing and increasing.
Well, Representative, the other thing you got to look at too is when all these kids, we as the General Assembly, and I'll put myself in there, we predicate our budget on gambling and drugs
Cannabis.
and alcohol.
Cannabis.
All right, and I'm getting reports all the time about kids showing up at the emergency rooms because of stuff that they're mixing in the cannabis cigarette or vaping cannabis with stuff in it.
Yep.
How many times are we going to predicate our budget on substances that don't even belong in the community just to make the budget work?
I know, and it's a $14 billion budget for the smallest state in the country.
I've been having meetings with the Cannabis Control Commission. I've had 3 meetings. When the bill was proposed, I went to the sponsors and said, listen, there's nothing in there for prevention, education, and treatment. Don't worry about it, John. We'll take care of you. Well, guess what? 5 years later, millions, maybe even billions within the next 5 years of sales. And ask me how much I got.
How much did you get, John?
0.
Well, can we work on that?
I put a bill in. I put a bill in. And I'm not, I think you are the sponsor on the House. No, we haven't had that bill over on the House side yet. We have it in the Senate. And the Speaker is looking to talk to different people about putting the bill in. But this is ridiculous. For prevention, education, and treatment, we have 0.
I agree
0 in the schools. What are we waiting for? Are we waiting for more overdoses? Are we waiting for more people that are in Rhode Island Hospital, Miriam Hospital because of psychosis or marijuana?
Yep.
Is that what we're waiting for?
Can I tell you something, John? Yeah. You're talking about bringing these programs into the schools. When I was a substitute teacher, there was teachers in that building, longtime teachers, tenured teachers, who didn't know how to report child abuse.
How does that happen?
I don't know.
How does that happen?
I don't know.
You know, they have all these professional days, but they don't do anything with them.
Best practices is one school psychologist for every 500 kids. We at North Kingstown had one school psychologist for 1,400 kids. How does that work?
It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
And when you ask the school departments about it, they're like, well, show me the money. I don't believe it that it's a money problem. I think you need to find the money, just like you need to find the money for the yonder pouches. You need to do what's right for kids, and we oftentimes fail them.
No, I listen. You're speaking to the choir.
I know.
Even though I don't sing.
I know.
But the problem is that we need to change the way we look at things. We need to refocus. We need to get back to where we need to be. And I'm going to give you a perfect example. I'm looking to hire an admin person. I put out 66 applicants. We whittled it down to 6. Nobody's got a car.
Oh my God.
Everybody takes Uber. People, they don't dress for interviews. They all came in with Dunkin' Donuts coffee. I mean, where are we going here, folks?
How old were they?
In their mid-30s.
Wow. Yep.
In their mid-30s. Where are we going? And one gentleman says to me, oh, yeah, I do a little pot smoking here and there. You're working for a substance use and mental health place. I can't have that.
No.
I mean.
No, John, I agree. I think that, and everybody says it's COVID. No, it's not COVID.
COVID's gone.
COVID's gone is right.
Excuses, that's what it is.
I agree with you. I agree with you because I know this young man. He's almost 18. He just can't keep a job, and he doesn't want to work. I don't know what the answer is. But all right, let's bring the parent in. Let's bring the parent in because we need the parents to help us with the cell phone usage too, and the social media screen time.
Right.
Yeah, but parents have to get involved. They shouldn't add to the problem. There was a story that I heard at Mountain Hope High School that before the cell phone ban came in, a mom texted her kid to yell at them for not taking out the trash in the middle of a school day while the kid is trying to learn. After that interaction on the phone, it takes that child 23 minutes to refocus. So parents have to stop and think about what their role is in all of this. Parents have to parent.
I wrote an op-ed about that. Parents need to be parents not to be friends.
Yes. Oh, totally agree.
Listen, if that stuff happened when I was going to school, that would have never happened because when I went home, I was going to hear about it.
Oh, absolutely. So that's how I was brought up too. And it's I don't know, it's terrible. Parents need to get involved in their children's lives.
Yep.
As a parent.
They need to be parents, not friends. We're going to take another quick break.
Okay.
Y'all watching Recovery TV, and I'm your host, Sean Tassoni. We'll be right back after these messages.
And now back to Recovery TV with your host, John J. Tassoni Jr. Recovery TV is made possible by our supporting sponsors and our title sponsor, Kodak. Now, here's John and today's guest.
Welcome back to Recovery TV, and I'm your host, Sean Tassoni. Representative Julie Casamaro, who does a lot of the children's issues in the State House, is my guest today. Thank you, Representative. Thank you for coming in today. I know you're busy at this particular time, starting to get the budget, and then election season. There's a lot going on.
Lots going on, yep.
I want to talk to you about accountability. There's been many conversations inside, outside about accountability. Give me your thoughts on accountability with children's issues.
So I've been at the State House now for 10 years, and every year it gets worse instead of better. There is no accountability, absolutely zero accountability. Again, because people don't want to push back to the powers that be, and they don't want to, it's hard to get people to do the right thing. Taxpayers should start asking questions because it's a $14 billion budget and we're failing kids. We've been failing kids longer than I've been in the General Assembly. Accountability needs to be part of this.
It's accountability, and the kids are our future.
Oh my God, yes.
If we don't take care of the future, it's not going to be good.
I agree with you 1,000%. We need to do better for kids in Rhode Island. And I'm not talking about just kids in state care. I'm talking about all kids.
All kids, right. And I want to thank you for coming on, and thank you for fighting the good fight. I greatly appreciate that. We've done a lot of things together, too. It's
we got another one coming up.
Yeah, here we go. Another one coming up. Coming up next is Kodak Live, a fully integrated healthcare system. My guest next week is Linda Hurley of Kodak. If you see something, say something. We'll see you next week.